welcome to Read With Me Friday. Today I'm here with a special guest. This is my first time interviewing, guys. It's my first time. And my friend here, this is Nya Harris.
Hey, everybody.
She is a fabulous dancer, performer that I have known, I think, 5 years now. And she's grown up before my eyes, and we sit and have the best chat about books. And most of the time we agree. So today we are going to talk a little bit about a book by Nicola Yoon, African-American author, in line with my African-American author series for February, which I really think that African-American authors should always be highlighted. I don't even care if it's February. If it's February, if it's not February, be November is African-American month, authors month, it's whatever. So, what kind of books move you, Nya?
I love contemporary books that are taken from real life. I really love The Hate U Give.
Okay.
And I love The Sun Is Also a Star. I love books that combat stereotypes.
Okay. So, what draws you to Nya Yoon? You mentioned The Sun Is Also a Star, and that is the only I've not read The Hate U Give, which I'm still kind of waffling because I'm a dystopian novel type of person. That's what I like to read. But sometimes I get a hold of a good, meaty, real life book that I just gotta talk about. And Nicola Yoon does those very well. And so what drew you to her?
Yes, I read Everything first.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, I need more books by this author. And she was absolutely amazing.
How many of them does she have?
She's only written 2 books.
She's only written the 2 books.
Just the 2.
See, I avoided Everything because it felt like John Green a little bit. I didn't want to read about a sick baby. I just didn't. You know, I'm a mama.
Yeah.
I can't. It breaks my heart. But I stumbled upon The Sun Is Also a Star as a movie first.
Yeah.
And I liked the movie. And I know how you feel about the movie.
I hate the movie.
I know how you feel. But movies always ruin a good book.
Yeah.
They always do. So, what about this book moves you?
I love how the characters, David, Daniel and Natasha, they're both like opposite stereotypes.
Mm-hmm.
So normally you would expect the Asian character to be the one that's like book smart and serious, and the black character to be a dreamer.
Right.
And they're completely opposite. And I love how analytical Natasha is.
Because you're analytical.
I am.
I know, because I was reading, like, after you told me that you'd read it, and I had told you, I started reading, and I'm like, this is so Nya. This is just like her. It's just like you, and you know what? There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
I think that's amazing. Sometimes us as African American women especially have to be like that.
Yeah. I love everything that they learn from each other, too, by the end.
Okay, so for people who don't know this book at all, didn't watch the movie, don't know anything, what is this book about, really?
So this book, it follows Daniel and Natasha through the course of one day. Most of the story takes place. And Natasha, she is trying to stop her family from being deported. And Daniel is about to have his Harvard meeting. And
I think it's Yale.
Yale?
It's Yale.
It's Yale because his brother
went
to Harvard.
Yeah. Yeah, he got out of Harvard. Uh-huh.
Yeah, so he went to Yale instead. But they're meeting through the course of this one day, and it's about how they change each other and both learning from each other. And I was really skeptical to read it because I don't like insta-love stories.
I know. You told me about that before, so I was kind of surprised when you said I liked it. I was like, what? I read
it, and I was expecting to hate it.
Oh, wow.
And then I was like, I love this book.
It's because she's like you. And that's why you don't like insta love story. It wasn't an insta love story, really. I mean, she's very analytical, and she was analyzing the hell out of her feelings. It was. I mean, you would expect this is all takes course over a day, just one day, and you would expect to have a little bit of an issue with your feelings when you're falling for someone and you want to be around them all the time, but you know you're never going to see them again.
Yeah.
And why is life so unfair that you meet them on the last day you're going to be where you're going to be?
That hurt my soul.
But you know, who's your favorite character in the main two characters? Like, of course, it's probably Natasha.
It is Natasha.
Because it's you. But, you know, the story has a lot of peripheral stories. Yeah, it's about the world. It's about all of us. And so who is the favorite peripheral character that you have?
Irene.
That's my favorite too. And I still don't know what happened to her at the end. Other than what I learned from her from the beginning of the book, because I still haven't finished the book. I'm working on it.
The ending part is like tears.
Oh, jeez. Well, you know what? I'll live through it. But yeah, Natasha, Irene was like the way we observe her as an outsider, not inside her head. Yeah. She's a strange bird, and we have to think about how we perceive the people. We just find them like they're weird. Yeah. And why are they weird? There's a reason. There's a reason. And I like how Andrea just like showed how she was struggling. Yeah. And that was the reason she was weird.
Yeah, and it shows like we view people as like one thing, like, oh, she's mean or she's weird. But then you follow her story and you're like, she's a real person going through real things in her life. Mm-hmm. And then her interaction with Natasha makes me so happy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, and I get how, even though she didn't know what was happening with that lady, she took notice of how different it was. That was really cool because, you know, all she's doing is observing people, even though she is hating the world. Yeah. And I love that. I love that about this book. And there was, in the movie, because I don't know very much beyond, like, I just got to the part where she was about to have her meeting with the lawyer. In the movie, the lawyer and the person that interviewed that Daniel is the same person. Is that the same thing in the book?
No.
See, they don't mess that up. And then they also said that guy that almost killed Natasha.
Yes, I love his point of view in the book too.
Yeah, that was hard because he almost did to somebody what they did to his daughter. Yeah. And I wonder, see, I haven't gone far. So what happened to him? Do they go back to him later? No. Not at all?
No, it's just once.
Just that once? Wow. That had to weigh heavily on him because he nearly killed somebody because he was driving drunk.
Was that in the movie though, where they had his point of view?
They didn't really have his point of view. They just totally took it away, and that, you know, it took away from the depth of the book. And so I get what you mean because we don't know why this man was driving erratically down the streets of New York and ran over a lawyer and almost killed a girl. We don't know why. But in the book, you see him almost running over a girl, then pulling over with his hazard lights, scared that he may have hit this girl. And he was driving, and he almost did to somebody because his daughter had been killed by a distracted driver. The other person wasn't even drunk. They were on texting or whatever. Yeah.
I didn't get to that part in the movie.
You didn't get that far.
No. I told you I stopped.
You stopped really soon.
I stopped when they were in like the train station thing.
Oh. Yeah, that wasn't even in the book.
No, it was not. It wasn't needed.
It was unnecessary. It was unnecessary. But he was like, that's where they made the whole meeting part happen all in this train part. But that's not how it happened in the book. So it's like annoying. So, yeah, I know you hated that. Like that was my next question was about that movie. But you know what? I already asked that question because I know. She like the first thing you said, I said, "Oh, I was watching this movie. The Sun's Also Atar." She's like, "I hate that movie."
I do because the book is so deep and it's not just like another teen novel, you know.
It is not. It expects the teens to have like this higher understanding of human interaction that most people don't think that teenagers have. Yeah. And I like it when they talk to kids like they're smart.
Yes. Some of us are.
Well, see, seriously, because it makes it so much easier for me to read because I just like YA. Because if they talk to you like idiots, like some books, you know, then I can't read it. I can't enjoy it too. And I like to read YA especially because it's not as, you know, uncomfortable as some adult things. Like if I want to listen to it as an audiobook in my car, I have my kids in the car. I don't have to worry about my kids hearing things that they're not supposed to. Well, nowadays with the YA, I do gotta kind of think about it a little bit. But but for the most part, I don't have to, you know, think about that. And that's what I love about YA, especially the sci-fi stuff. So what other authors are you reading?
Right now, I'm really into Angie Thomas, who also only has 2 books out.
Oh, okay.
So I'm doing this to myself.
What has she written?
She has written On the Come Up, which I actually have upstairs.
Oh, okay.
And then I read The Hate You Give.
Oh, that's from her. Okay, okay. All right. I got to read, then I have to go ahead and just bite the bullet and get her. Because, I mean, I've been hearing such great things. I actually knew a fourth grader that read The Hate You Give and had so many questions to ask. And
that's a bit much for a 4th grader.
Well, she reads 10th grade level, you know. She was in 4th grade when she read it. She's in 5th grade now. 6th grade. She's in 6th grade now. And yeah, but she had questions and she was reading. Her mom is a writer. So, you know, that's how Mackenzie is. She reads college level. Yeah. So like it's like, I guess, I don't know, it's a writer's children. You know, they get into these words and they're voracious about it and they wanna know. And she had really deep questions about it. She's not African American, she's half white, half Latina. So she wasn't relating on a racial level, but on a human level. And the questions that she asked were very insightful. But having a writer elicit that from anybody, that's really cool. So Angie is her name, huh? Okay. All right. I'm gonna probably look her up. On the come up. And what are you reading?
I'm reading Internment.
Internment.
Which is about, it's like a dystopian novel. Mm-hmm. And it's about this Middle Eastern girl, and they've taken all the Middle Eastern Muslim people and put them into like a concentration camp.
Did with the Japanese. That looks like it's coming up too.
Yeah.
It seems so relevant right now.
And the amazing thing about the novel was it didn't feel like a dystopian. It felt like something that could actually
It's actually pretty much happening right now with
the children at the border.
At the border, yeah.
Yes, which the author mentions in the book. So it's like, it was scary how real it seemed.
Yeah.
Like reading Hunger Games, you're like, no, we're so far away from that, so it's just fun to read.
Right.
But it was like terrifying reading Internment.
Wow.
Because I was like, this is happening now. That's crazy.
That is exactly what's happening. That is insane. So, what's the name of that author?
Samira Ahmed.
I love her. I love her. I've read some other things by her. I do. I loved her. I've actually talked about her on my video before. So yeah, she's good. Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you so much for talking with me, Nya.
Thank you for having me.
This was so much fun. I will do it again with you because you and me, we can talk books all day. Yeah. I know this. Have a great. So thank you guys for visiting with us, and I will be back next week. Don't forget to subscribe and share this podcast if you're hearing me. Share this podcast with your friends. You can get it at Apple, on Apple Podcasts or everywhere you listen to podcasts. And hit me up on IG, SKALPRO, or on Twitter, SKAllenAuthor. Also have a book on Amazon called My Boyfriend's Mother. If you wanna, you can buy it. I know it's not a YA. It is an adult book. Do not let your kids buy it, please. Please. I'm serious. But you can buy it, read it, enjoy it, and I see you next time. Bye.
Bye.